All right, welcome to the UAC podcast. We have a special episode today. We are talking about the 20 talking to our 20 most influential chiropractors, and I have nominee Tony Ebel here today to speak with us. And I've known Tony for years and years. We went to school together, which is so crazy to think about. So I can't wait to have this conversation with you, but not everybody knows exactly who you are. Will you introduce yourself, Tony, and just tell us a little bit about Tony Ebel?
Well, like you and Nick, very Palmer proud. We really did. You can honestly go to that short amount of time. I think there was a couple of classes in a row where I'm not so sure there isn't quite a few of the nominees that came from that little run at Palmer. So I think everybody's really proud of their school, but seriously, we were blessed. We had a hardworking, all in, really, ready to take on chiropractic by storm group. So for me, I actually from Iowa originally, and so farm kid, which I think has really helped me in the just family practice, servant, leader side of things. And then I met a Chicago suburb girl at undergrad, Christina. She lived in the beautiful city of Davenport with us that whole time, and it was a teacher. So her family from Chicago. We moved here, set up shop really early on, 2 weeks before I graduated. We had our first baby girl, Addison. So I went as, 11th and 12th hour shift. I was going to be sports chiro, wellness chiro. We really grew up, Steph and I really grew up in that wellness era of chiropractic. There was no pediatrics, prenatal, that whole time. And then this beautiful baby girl is born. So put all that together, I shifted and started. We graduated on Friday. I took Dr. Jeannie Ohm's class in Chicago on Saturday, went and got my ICPA certification. That was when Defeat Autism Now was blowing up. They do that here in Chicago. So it all came together for me to be pediatrics, perinatal, and family. But very specifically, I started to figure out that birth trauma is that hidden in plain sight subluxation trigger, sympathetic dominance trigger, chronic illness, connection trigger. We'll never pathologize subluxation and say, hey, it causes X, but it starts to storm. And still 20 years later, it's getting better. We got the podcast. I'm on the Maha Media Zoom this afternoon talking about it again, but parents still don't know that that's the major issue. Toxins are a big deal. Everything else is a big deal, but getting these kids adjusted is the biggest deal. So I've been on that mission for 20 years. The clinic is, we see patients from all around the world. We have an intensive program. Tomorrow I'll be starting with a kid from Ireland. So that'll be a great accent.
Amazing.
Once we get him, and we will get him talking. And then, teaching others through PX, the Experience Miracles podcast. There's a few things rocking and rolling.
Things going on in your life.
Yeah.
That's why. And how many kids
I'm
do you
a
have?
rambler.
You have to mention that too.
Yes. Yeah. 4 kids. Just had a baby girl. Speaking of that baby girl, she's graduated high school. So that's how long I've been a chiropractor. So she's amazing. Off to Michigan State today.
Yes. Well, we're so excited to have you. Congratulations on this nomination. And I think there's some big things coming your way, I hear. So I want you to tell us about that and what, when we're talking about influence, this is not a popularity contest, right? We are talking influence and influence of the profession and getting that message out there. I know obviously you've had a huge impact when it comes to chiropractic and kids. I've had patients come into my office be like, what about these scans? I'm like, we did those scans with you. But yet they're getting out there, it's so cool to have that kind of influence, and that people are really, especially in that world of autism and spectrum disorder, and understanding that the nervous system is so huge, but there's something big coming. So I want you to just unveil that and kind of talk about what that influence is looking like.
I'll start with the case of one, because truthfully, I was so nervous for this chat, not to chat with you. I love you. I've loved you for 20 years. We're good buddies, so that'd be fun. But I can't stand talking about myself. And I think because that's an issue, I think that's why God made me a chiropractor, because as chiropractors, we're so good at putting others first. And I know how cliche I'm starting this answer, but I'm obsessed in that direction, literally daily relentless with making the most amount of change for the most amount of kids and families as I possibly can with the time God gives me. And so one of the other shirts we wear all the time, and and hashtags we live by is every kid counts. That the Ireland kiddo who I just did his intake consult, here's a real measurement of how much impact and influence we've been able to make, not just inside chiropractic, which is awesome, but what does chiropractic exist for? To change the world
Right.
outside, right?
Yeah.
And to get as many kids and families experiencing life that we do. This mom is so connected to the Experience Miracles podcast. She reads the articles we put out on pxdocs.com. I mean, we're literally reaching millions every single month. And that's not chiro math. Like that's our
Yeah.
actual reach, on
Yes.
social and all that. And so on her health goals, the top 3 health goals on the paperwork, number 1 is to find out fully, she very specifically used the word fully, why her kiddo is struggling. Because she's done functional medicine, she's done conventional, like the list is long, that
Yeah.
they've tried. And she still doesn't have that answer. And then 2, the second goal is to increase her child's adaptability, reserve capacity, and improve their HRV. And the third, which again, if I'm being very picky, which why the hell would I be picky about this? Because it's on the list. Number 3 is to address and clear subluxation.
Oh my
That's
God.
what they're putting on the freaking paperwork. Now,
That's
it's a
insane.
big- yeah, it's because it used to say, even just 5 years ago, before we built this platform and said, enough,
Yeah.
we're too far behind the 8 ball. Let's just get out front, educate, and empower the entire world because the nervous system is trending. Conventional medicine is crumbling awesomely, finally.
Right.
And so we just saw this opportunity in time to get louder than ever before. I had no freaking clue that it would work to the tune of, we reached between 3 to 5 million between all the different outputs that we do, podcasts, social, SEO, and then,
Amazing.
generating thousands of new patients through the directory. And the most important thing is each and every one of those kids and families, when they come in, they're not just like, oh, let me see what this is about. They're
Right.
all about it. And you can actually do that nowadays. You can actually influence people that much
Right.
before you actually even have them walk through your front door. And we're just crazy as a profession if we don't fully capture that opportunity. I mean, if we're out there still just waiting for internal referrals and doing screenings at Costco, I mean, come on, just use Instacart. Who goes to Costco anymore? And so that's a bad joke. So that's what we do. I'm sitting in our studio. We built a whole building for a studio. So I feel like my long answer to short answer is I don't know that there's any other group out there reaching as many within the public in this congruent, principled, subluxation-based way. And then because we now have certified over 1,000 doctors through our program with Life University,
Yeah.
that directory, we're going to London later on this year. We've been in Australia. Like, we're not just saying, hey, go to the regular chiropractor. We're literally sending these patients in. Thousands of them every single month are signing up for care, and we're just getting started.
So awesome. Oh, that's so fun and so amazing to have such success, especially in that pediatric world, because that we know that medicine is crumbling around them. And you can see that in the rise in chronic disease and all the things that are taking place in the world today. So like what a better solution than to be a chiropractor in this day and age of ones that are ready to take care of those kiddos. So I love that. I love that mission. I know there's other things coming your way as far as
Yeah.
like now with the new administration and all of the things with Maha. Can you give us like some of I just saw a cool email with your face on it. Like, let's definitely scream about this too. This is an incredible opportunity. I'm so glad they picked you because I think you're such an amazing person to represent this profession. So tell us about that.
Well, the first rodeo of it went very, very well, and I don't think I've ever been more nervous for a 5-minute talk. Well, first off, they were like, "Hey, can you talk about chiropractic and autism? You'll have 5 minutes." And I was like,
5 minutes.
sure, yes, Tony the tangent in under 5 minutes. So I definitely outlined that one, and I will again this afternoon. So I think there's layers to that. Number one, I suppose about 5 years ago here, my friend, as I hit my 40s, I was like, we're doing a lot of really, really incredible things to reach all these kids. But I was just praying, I was obviously doing this COVID years, and so I was equally motivated, pissed off, and passionate about doing something bigger. I had never gone at all into like an academic world. We were growing. Epic was the greatest vehicle ever. That first stage of getting
Yeah.
this world out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dr. David and Billy D and all the people who gave me that shot.
Yeah.
And then it needed to hit another, we'll use a pediatric development, your and I's expertise, right? It
Right.
needed to hit another gear of serious development because the perfect storm raged on, but also I could see this shift of parents ready to come our way. Like it wasn't this like pie in the sky dream. I could actually strategically build the plan and do it. So first phone call was Dr. Gilles Lamarche. I believe he won one of the
Oh,
top
yeah.
20 last. He should again this year. So Gilles been a mentor of mine forever, along with Dr. Fletcher. And I just asked Dr. Gilles, and he was an immediate yes. So we built this first of its kind because it's all chiropractic. A lot of other certifications in pediatric chiropractic are great, but they do a lot of things. We just hone in on that. And so we built this certification course with Life University. That's actually the launch pad to Maha because Dr. Gilles will get my vote for this all day. Like when I log in to do this UAC top 20 thing, it's Gilles at the top because the man was made to make connections happen.
Yeah.
He is the man of the people, specifically
Yeah.
the chiropractic people. And so we got this program going. It gave PX such legitimacy with the clinical advancement. And so my whole career, I have just asked God to send me people to trust to get into rooms that most of the time when I'm there, I really don't feel like I belong there. And so Dr. Gilles reached out to me last year to help out with this MAHA working group. So it's called the Chiropractic MAHA Working Group. And Dr. Gilles, Dr. Steve Tullius, Dr. Vicky, a bunch of these people had already started doing hard work last year's stuff. They formed the foundation of this.
It's
And
amazing.
they asked me to help last year, and I really time blocked myself and scheduled myself a bit militantly with, all the things and all the kids.
Yeah.
So this I just decided in January, I told my whole team, we made a few hires so I could get a few things off my plate. And I was like, if I'm going to do this, I've never been to DC. I hate putting on a suit coat. I'm not going to wear a tie. What the hell's happening?
What
But
is
I'm not
going
going to
on?
half-ass it either. You know me, like I'm going to go all
Yeah.
in. So we show up in DC. We're at these meetings. It's a bunch of suits. It's all the political organizations within the profession. And then me. And I'm like looking around the
Who's
table
that
and
guy?
I'm like, all right, God, well, I guess you answered my prayer. What the heck do you want me to do with this now? And so I'll shut up after this. All I did was share the perfect storm story and science. And one thing I did differently, I think that really left an impression with the people in the Maha Action Group is the only way, and I want everybody to hear this, regardless of where you take this, like do this with every opportunity of your life, even if you're 5 states away from your practice. What I can see from the Maha people is they are like us. They are working their ass off, Steph, to serve and make this huge transformation in a short amount of time. And I
Right.
could see how stressed they were. So what I did is I made it my mission to get every one of them under chiropractic care, to get their inside scans and to get them a PX doctor and their kids. Because I don't think you can, or you can, but not at the same level. You can't be an unstoppable force for this profession
So true.
unless you are well adjusted.
Yep.
And I've always lived that out myself. Like I'm on a 2 to 3 times a week care. I charge hard, so I got to get recharged,
Yep.
at a higher rate. So I think over these last couple of months, the reason the Maha folks know to reach out and plug. I couldn't believe they put me next to Dr. Frickin' Oz on that picture and others. I was like, whose pointy head is that? Oh, jeez, it's mine. But
That's me.
they're all they're getting adjusted now, Steph. And
Oh,
you do
great.
it. When you do that,
Yeah.
that's what actually changes. I
Yes.
may have a good ability to use words or write articles or make social media freaking carousels, that's not going to do the job. Getting these people and their kids adjusted has changed their lives. And now they're like, geez, I'm not going to shut up about this either. That's always our secret sauce. And I think a lot of times chiropractic, as we try to do big things, we forget to bring that with us.
I agree.
That's the freaking unlock.
It's crazy. I just talked with Dr. David Fletcher, CLA, and he was just talking about how important it is, like, kind of to get back to our roots. And like,
Yeah.
that's the root of it is, and getting somebody like, influencers, people who are there, like really understand chiropractic. And I think they named it the Chiropractic Revolution, right? Like, is that right?
That's what's
So
coming out today,
what's
and then
coming?
Maha's.
Where are you seeing this going? Like, what's going to change?
Yeah. Well, they're gonna create, so we've been working behind the scenes to create this Chiro hub. It'll come out this afternoon, so we could say it here today by the time this one comes out. It's been completely kind of under wraps. So there's a Chiro hub website that is going to be literally within the Maha website. And I love how many hits we get on ours. Theirs is bigger. Okay. And
Yes.
so we have all this reach. And they have the sort of people that we want to reach. They have the
Yes.
moms who want to roll, may not even know what we do yet, but are all about it. And then they have a lot of influential people from all walks of life. And so the Cairo Revolution coming out this afternoon is going to launch the Cairo Hub as part of Maha. And what that'll do is be able to get both parents, moms, patients involved, and then also get the profession involved. And honestly, still new rodeo for me being political. So I may not be giving the cleanest of answers on this, but
That's okay.
we've never had somebody in our corner who carried that big of a stick. We
Right.
just we
Yeah.
haven't had lobbyists. The reason we're getting our, ASS kicked by medicine this whole time is they outmarket us and they outlobby us and they out fundraise us. This is our first chance to collectively get together. And I want to say this too, since we're on it. Maha is not just representing pediatric subluxation based family wellness chiropractors like you and I, the military. We're addressing the opioid crisis and finally going to get chiropractors really serving there, saving surgery, saving suicide, saving opioid addiction. We're going to get chiropractors into rural communities serving at that level. We're going to get chiropractors in all sorts of real, substantial places that you need a partnership, an alliance like people at Maha to get that done. And Secretary Kennedy, remember the Children's Health Defense fundraiser after
Yep.
CalJam? You were
Yep.
there,
It was
you spoke, we
insane.
all shared. Did you ever think that you and I, we were pretty young compared to the rest of the
We
room at
were
that time,
yes.
but even in our lifetime, did you think like we would see him in that freaking position of power?
It's
So that
amazing.
opportunity, we can't let this pass. We got to get our Cairo crap together and everybody support this Cairo Hub, Cairo Revolution. Get involved with Maha. If you follow me, a lot of the UAC crew are going to be there. Dan Papa is a big part of it, has been this whole time. So
Yeah.
get involved, get after it. Don't delay. Don't be like, what's this? Just freaking get involved.
Just go. Just
Yeah.
go. Oh,
Yeah.
well, congratulations. Like I said, I think they picked an awesome person. You've always been on fire about chiropractic, and what a way to like set fire to more people, because that's such an awesome way to do it and spread that fire so that we can like take over and get people healthy
Right.
and get people true health, right? Like I think
Yeah.
that's like there's just such a misconception about what true health really is, and for people to understand a clear nervous system, you can't be healthy without it. Like the more that people can understand that, like that's going to make such a huge difference. How do you feel, Tony, about being an influencer? Like how do you I know you said you don't like to talk about yourself, but you are an influencer in chiropractic. You've been chosen here. How does that sit with you?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's not awful because it creates impact, but you know me very well, my
I do.
friend. I'd
Yeah.
rather be a lawnmower and a farmer and just on the tables. And then I've spent a lot of time in prayer with this. I've spent a lot of mentors. I'm blessed. I've always sought out mentorship from, big impact makers like Josh Axe and others, and been able to become friends with these guys. And so I have definitely picked their brain about this forever. I remember 5 years ago when I came up with the idea for the platform and the podcast, and he's like, I got into like a healthy argument with him. He's like, "You got to put your name on it." I'm like, "I'm definitely not putting my name on it." I
Definitely.
was like, and yeah, and so I've made peace with it because the impact that comes from it is freaking fantastic. I've seen it with my kids. I have
Yeah.
literally seen the miracle transformation in Addis and Oliver, Elena and Amelia. So I would be a total a-hole if I didn't, despite how much it makes me uncomfortable, just continue to step into that space and say, if influencer comes with a net definition of an impact maker for kids and families in this kick-ass profession, I'll
Yeah.
do it. But you will not find me. You should see when I went to DC the first day, I wore like a button-up shirt underneath the suit coat, but the second day it was t-shirt time again. So you're not, there's only a certain level
Don't keep
of
me in the suit very long.
yeah, and I'm gonna fly out that night. Like, you just gotta know I'm going back to the farm and I'm gonna kinda hide out, out there and do what I do. So when I'm in the studio, we're gonna influence away, but the moment we're done, and we're just gonna go back and chill.
That's so amazing. I love it. I know you mentioned a couple of people that have influenced you. Who is that for you? Like, who do you feel like right now you kind of like look up to, and you're really being influenced? Like you mentioned before, you got to put yourself around people to pull you up. Like, who's doing
Yeah.
that for you right now?
Oh, man, thank you for asking that question, my friend. There's nothing that matters more to me than saying thanks to those who came before me and mentored me and modeled me. Nothing matters more to me than this. I'm gonna go back in time really quick. Dr. Rick Elbert, still serving. I think he's either at 50 years or nearly in Ames, Iowa. I worked for him in undergrad while I was at Iowa State, so right smack in the middle of the Cyclone State there. If you're a guard center, if you've taken any GMI courses, you know that Dr. Rick Elbert is a case management chiropractic legend, not one that a lot of people know, and I don't even get to talk to him too much anymore these days. But Dr. Rick Albert, Dr. Mike Cody is up in heaven. He still mentors and guides me. That's why I did my internship. And then from the beginning, oh man, Dr. David Fletcher, Dr. Gilles LaMarche, Dr. Troy Dukowitz early on was a big person for me, and Dr. Josh Axe. Again, different mission within the healthcare landscape,
Right.
right? For somebody like Axe and Pump and those guys, but you can learn from everyone how to scale and how to grow big. So those, oh gosh, I don't want to miss anybody. You know who most importantly influences me? I mean it 1,000 times over. My team. Dr. Matt Hill's been serving alongside me, just has his 9-year anniversary right now. He runs the clinic, lead clinical doc, my PWC doc team, our PX leadership team, Christina, my wife, Maggie, our COO, John, our CMO. I currently, I like to say it this way, I am awesomely mentored from within. I have just hired people on this team to take over for the pediatrician that are so much smarter, so much more experienced than I am.
Yeah.
And so when we have team meetings, I'm taking notes like, hey, you guys are brilliant. What can I do in my position with this company and this movement? So those folks are really, truly, chiropractic wise, though, I'm filling in David Fletcher and Gilles LaMarche right now. Those are my homies making it happen.
I love it. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm excited. I'm excited to have you. I am so excited for you. Like, give me some parting thoughts, Tony. I mean, I can't believe we were able to keep this shorter.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of myself right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to hear a little bit of parting thoughts from you. I'm just so excited for you and where you're going. I can't wait to follow you with this and be any part of it that we can be to support you and the journey that you're about to take with this profession. But what do you have for parting thoughts?
I got one that I don't think too many people in my spot or similar. If you look at how, folks like this are on the surface, I don't think you'd think they'd say this, but I would say to everybody out there, especially if you are a successful chiropractor, and if you're tapping into UAC, you're doing some things, or just, in the ecosystem of UAC with their reach, you're doing great in practice. And so my parting action would be this: don't be in a hurry to get out of practice. We're in a weird freaking time. That's why I love, for many reasons, I love you and Nick's stuff. You're continuing to climb. You got your beautiful kiddos, you've got your life, but you're still just, that brick and mortar practice is the original source of impact you were called to make. And so I see a lot of chiropractors who have built huge brick and mortar practices kind of sign up with these coaches and mentors and groups who are like in a hurry to get them out of practice. You'd already mastered that business model. Scale that one. And I know it might sound blasphemous for me, like Kettle Black, because you have, PX. If I didn't have to do those to replace
Yeah.
the pediatrician, I'd open 15 to 20 clinics. I fight my face off to maintain my 2 shifts per week serving patients. When I see chiropractors who kick ass at chiropractic and growing chiropractic get too far away from the actual delivery of it, which is a brick and mortar practice, their fire fades, Steph. What they
Amen.
teach fades. It's not as strong. It's not as real. Look at COVID and what we've all been through. You have to
Yeah.
be in it today to know what all of us that are in it, if you're going to mentor, guide, and coach me, you got to do what I do and you got to do it with excellence. So I would shout out to the successful chiropractors. Don't be in a hurry. You might be tired. Just get your stuff together. Be a better leader. Be a better organizer. Be a better delegator. Get help from somebody who can take you to that next level of leadership. But don't be in a hurry to get out of practice. Be instead in a hurry to become a better leader, better business operator, and learn how to grow and scale from a successful place that, yes, gives you an incredible life and time with your family, but you don't have to run away from it to be able to balance it out and love all of it.
I agree with you 100%. It's
I thought you might.
there's something special about that servant piece of being a chiropractor, right? Like that's definitely how I feel too. I anytime I ever think about, being done practicing, I'm just like feel like a piece of me would be gone,
Yeah.
So I think that's great advice, and thank you so much for being with us. Again, congratulations on the nomination for the UAC Top 20, but also congratulations on this amazing, influential, position with Maha. And I truly believe they picked the right person. So congratulations and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, guys.